working on my little animation of my sphere going from the left side to the right side, and I've made a huge mistake. I don't want the conclusion of my animation to be on frame 12. I want the end of my animation to be way over here on frame 24. I've made it too quick. I need to make it a little bit longer. Now, I have two choices in front of me. Either A, I can delete everything and start over, or I can edit the keyframes and continue to massage them to get the result that I'm after. Now, luckily for us, editing the keyframes inside of Blender is really, really easy. And let me show you what it looks like. Now, it starts with a careful examination and an understanding of what's been selected. Now, if you notice that when I click on one, they turn gold. That means that these keyframes are selected, and simply you can left click and drag the selected keyframes wherever you want to go to change their location inside the timeline. Now, remember that the drawing on frame 12 is where the ball is on the right side of the screen. So if I was to move the location of the keyframe in time, I'm not changing the location of the sphere in the drawing. I'm changing when that drawing is going to show up inside of my timeline. Check it out. Remember, previously, that keyframe for the right sphere was on frame 12. Hit the play button, boop. See how it's fast, and then eventually, boom, once it gets down there to that last frame, we see that drawing. So simply left-clicking and dragging on a keyframe will change its location. We're not changing the contents of that, right, of that drawing. This drawing here is the sphere over here on the right. The keyframes are all about when that drawing is shown on the screen itself. So I've changed its location in my timeline just by left-clicking and dragging. Okay, I want to put it back here to frame 12 just to, oops, missed it, just to show you something else. Now, another thing that we can do is that we can select multiples. Now, notice that I'm left-clicking and dragging a selection box. And you only got to worry about this top row. This top row is the summary. Okay, you don't need to worry about all this stuff. We'll talk about all of this jazz at a later time as we get more comfortable animating inside of Blender. But we just need the summary row, okay? Notice that I got all of them selected. Well, I did some really good animation over here at the beginning. I like the way that all of this is looking. This is pretty cool, right? I would hate to lose all of that work when I manually drag all that out, right? Because then I got to go this and that, and this one's got to go there. It's just a tremendous amount of work. Let me show you a cool little trick that includes selecting all of these keyframes, and we're going to scale them, okay? Now, if we, please note that it's going to scale the location of the keyframes at the playhead itself. And I'm going to hit the S key, S as in September, or scale, and watch what happens to the distance between each of these keyframes as I scale them. It's going to scale at the location of the playhead itself. So frame 1 is not going to change its location, but everything to the right of frame 1 is going to increase in distance from the playhead. I'm going to hit scale. Our cursor changes. Yeah, check that out. Now I can just scale it, bloop, like that. Isn't that cool? So we can evenly space out all of these keyframes by using the scale tool, which is pretty cool. Let's play it now. Boom. All right. Looking good. Looking good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. Okay. So working with keyframes and editing the keyframes in our timeline is really easy. Of course, we can just left click and drag. We can also select multiples, drag multiples at a time. It's really easy. That cool scale trick is pretty neat. I use this all the time. If I want to globally make things small, faster and slower, I can scale them. And remember, it's scaling to the location of your playhead, which is pretty cool. Now, the last thing is, what if we made a mistake? What if we don't like that drawing there and we want to get rid of it? Or this one over here, what if we just want to say goodbye to it? Well, what's the global keyboard shortcut for deleting things inside of Blender? That's right, the X key. Select it, hit the X key, and boom, you get a little popover that's going to come up underneath your mouse. And, oops, sorry, I moved off it. And then we're going to choose delete keyframes. You can also do this with multiples, grab a whole bunch, hit the X key, delete keyframes, bye-bye, and they're gone. So working in editing keyframes inside the Blender timeline is ridiculously easy, and it's going to allow you to continue to refine your animation after you've created all the drawings.